She chose white again. Just 1 week after our divorce became official, she stood at the altar as if she hadn't spent the last year slowly carving me hollow. Her expression was serene, unwavering, smiling at him with the same well-practiced affection she once used to sell the illusion of love to me. But I wasn't watching her. My eyes were fixed on him. And the moment I recognized who he was, what he was, I almost laughed aloud. I didn't, of course. I'm not theatrical. I'm calculated. That moment was a harvest of a scheme I'd been tending for months. Let me rewind. Erica and I were together for 7 years. The first 3 were calm, steady, even warm. We built a life that, from the outside, looked like a picture of stability. I offered her safety and structure. She gave me admiration, or so I believed. But fake admiration sours into disdain. It started subtly, late nights at work. Her phone always angled out of my view. That twinkle in her eyes when she giggled at messages I was excluded from. I saw the signs. I didn't confront her. I watched, listened, collected the lies like evidence. Every deception, every excuse, I kept them all. Silence is a weapon. People overlook you when you're quiet. Then she asked for a divorce. Said she wanted her freedom. I let her go calmly, without protest. She walked away as if she'd endured something tragic, as if surviving me had been her greatest trial. What she didn't realize was that I already knew the truth. His name was Todd. Todd Monroe, the man she married just a week after we signed the papers. My friend, my employee. That's what made it laughable. Not the betrayal. I'd long accepted that. But the sheer audacity, because I'd known for 6 months. I had seen them vanish together at our company retreat. I followed the call logs. I pulled security tapes. I had receipts from hotel stays. They thought they were ghosts. Untouchable. Invisible. They weren't. I didn't lash out. I didn't grovel. I adapted. The very next day after she filed the paperwork, I began rewiring my business. Todd worked in sales, charming but careless. Mid-level. I started routing important deals through him, tracking every blunder, every oversight. He believed I was distracted by the divorce. He mistook stillness for weakness. He never noticed a wiretap in his office. Never questioned the audit team I quietly installed. He had no idea he was violating his NDA. Because I baited him, logged everything, time-stamped and airtight. And Erica, she thought she'd upgraded. Flaunted him online like he was her golden prize. My perfect husband, she captioned. She didn't know I already had him on a leash. 2 weeks before their wedding, I had Todd removed. Not by firing him directly. That would have been too messy. I sold the company. Discreetly. New leadership. Corporate restructuring. Layoffs. He never saw it coming. And Erica never asked. She never did. The wedding was a small, intimate affair, out at a vineyard beyond the city limits. I wasn't on the guest list, naturally, but I was nearby. You can witness anything if you know how to stay unseen. She wore the same earrings I gave her on our 5th anniversary. Todd looked uncomfortable in his suit, too tight, too polished for a man out of his depth. When the officiant said, "Speak now, or forever hold your peace," I nearly did. Not intervene, but because the irony of it all was so sharp, it begged for an audience. But I remained silent. I let them have their moment. It would be their last. Their downfall wasn't dramatic. That's not my approach. Todd's bank accounts were flagged. The SEC received a package, documents I'd spent months assembling, whistleblower files. Organized, thorough, anonymous. I didn't just take his job. I stripped him of his future. And Erica, she walked into a trap with a ticking heart. A man now under investigation. Assets frozen. Reputation in flames. I timed the headlines perfectly mid-honeymoon. She posted one final photo. Sunset behind them, drink in hand. The caption, "Starting forever with the love of my life." Then the news broke. Former executive investigated for fraud and breach of NDA. I pictured her, lounging on the beach, sun-kissing content, watching everything she tried to steal slip away like grains of sand through her fingers. She called me. Of course she did. Blocked number. I answered. She didn't cry. Not her style. But her voice cracked just a little when she asked if I had anything to do with it. I told her the truth. No, not anymore. By then, my hands were spotless. I'd set the dominoes. Gravity had done the rest. She said, "You're laughing, aren't you?" I said nothing. She hung up. Months passed. Then I saw her again at the grocery store. No makeup, no wedding ring. She walked past me in the frozen food aisle. Didn't speak, but her eyes did. They weren't angry. They were tired, defeated. A quiet recognition lived in them. She knew what I'd done. She understood why. And more importantly, she knew she deserved it. I walked past her with a peaceful heart and a small, private smile. Not because I ruined her, because she believed I couldn't. And I did, quietly, perfectly. Like I said, silence is strength.